Hey, what up, guys? It's Luke here, back again with some Mega Luke Gaming highlights. Today, I just hit Legend. On my Mega Luke account, we only have one account anyway, but in the Bazaar, I hit Legend. I'm number 2,116, and I did so with mostly Vanessa and Dooley, and I'm going to show you a couple screenshots of how I got there. Maybe you can get inspired to copy some of my builds and stuff like that. So this is the last game that I played to get to Legend. It was quite a banger. We ended up getting the Eye of the Colossus and destroying like 5 items on the opponent's board before we were able to take the win. But mostly it's an Arbalest board. There's lots of good haste stuff in Vanessa's kit. She has the Zorkids, the Dive Weights, which is 5 times haste triggers, along with holsters to get everything started, and the Arbalest just scales up 100 damage every time we haste. So we are hasting a lot, right? If this goes off one time, it gives us 10 triggers of haste, which is 100 extra damage on our Arbalest, which has Deadly Enchant, so it's going to be critting. So anyway, the Arbalest was very, very strong. We were able to do lots of damage with the Arbalest. We also have some really good skills, obviously. Like, we started our journey with a gold skill. I chose the weapon arms dealer skill. So every time we buy a weapon, we gain 40 HP. So all I was doing was just spamming early weapons. And so I grabbed like some Zorkids, some whatever, grabbed some weapons, grabbed my HP up, and I was just doing aggro Vanessa early, grabbed some other skills for aggro Vanessa, like this Lucky Cricket one, 25 damage to all my weapons if we have lots of them, 5 to 10% crit chance for all my weapons, right-handed and lifting. You know, we're just doing weapon Vanessa. But we ended up pivoting a little bit to the Eye of the Colossus at the end. And obviously, once we found Arbalest, we already had double Zorkid when we found the Arbalest, so it was just a natural progression there. If we have a lot of haste, might as well grab the Arbalest. It was just the strongest thing we could have got at the moment, so another classic build for Vanessa is Cannonade Katana. This one I ended up going Pendulum Katana Yo-Yo, which was actually really strong. So the Yo-Yo obviously charges itself 3 seconds at gold, 3 seconds every time you use an adjacent weapon. Now this is only a 3-second cooldown, so basically it fully charges itself every time we use an adjacent weapon. And the Katana was a 2-second weapon, so every 2 seconds the Yo-Yo was definitely going off. So basically we had like 2 katanas basically, and a pendulum with Cannonade. So the pendulum says obviously adjacent items charge the other adjacent item by 2 seconds whenever it's used. So every time the katana goes off, we're charging the Cannonade 2 seconds from the pendulum, but also the Cannonade charges itself on any weapon use, or on our weapon uses, not on our opponents. But so whenever our katana goes off, it charges the Cannonade a second for being a weapon and 2 seconds for the pendulum, plus the Yo-Yo goes off, which is another second. So basically it's charging this thing every time this goes off, this is charging 4 seconds. And I believe I got the cooldown pretty low on this thing for some reason. I believe it was only like 5 seconds anyway, so it was kind of just going infinite. As soon as this katana and the Yo-Yo go off kind of thing, it charges this to go off, which charges the katana, which immediately goes off again and charges this again. So it kind of just goes and they just go crazy. So this was a good build. You know, we had some skills here and there. I believe I started with a gold skill once again, grabbed the right-handed katana and took that all the way to day 10 here and made the katana's really strong. 2-second cooldown weapon, very strong. Now, we also tried some Dooley. We've played a little bit of Dooley this patch. Since the bug nerf, he hasn't been my favorite to play. I kind of like Vanessa weapon spam a little bit more, but you can still do some really cool stuff on him. So what I like to do is grab skill start on Dooley and then use that skill start to determine which core you want to go, because you can pick 5 different cores. You might not get the exact core you want. Sometimes they don't have the core you want, because I believe there's more than 5 cores. There's maybe 6 cores or something. So anyway, this game was a pretty solid game where I started gold skill. Once again, I started with the fire skill, and then I pivoted into the core, the fire core, once I was able to choose that. And then obviously the triple cast fire item is insane with the fire core in general, because then you can also get the solar farm, which charges itself every time you burn, and then there's also a lighter and a battery. And we also got the dragon skill, which was every time you use a medium item, one of your burn items gains like 10 burn. So really good. Also defense grid, just for a little bit of shielding and crit chance on our large weapons and stuff. Like lots of crit chance on our large weapons, which only gives you a little bit of extra regen. I think it's not even that important. Also, this skill right here, shield equal to burn. This is like when you get to half HP, you shield equal to like 5 times the burn on the opponent or something. So like we were burning a lot. And then once I got to half HP, I gained like 7,000 shield or something. Because they were burning for like 1,000 or something by the time I got to half HP. And then I almost died, but like I got like 7,000 shield for free one time. So yeah, Dooley's one of these cool combo builds where you can kind of go crazy and find some little combo thing. So here's another combo that you can do with Dooley. It's force field with defense grid is basically the thing. And if you grab a couple other shield skills, like I had quite a few shield skills here. Shields have extra damage, or shields have extra shields. Shields have like crit. And then whenever your opponent uses a non-weapon item, they charge a weapon. So essentially this Uzi goes off every 2 seconds, and the charging station kind of acts like a metronome, but it charges instead of hastes. So whenever this gets used, it charges this item by like 2 or 3 seconds. I think it's 2 seconds because it's diamond. I believe it's 2 seconds or something. So every time this goes off, every 2 seconds, this gets charged 2 seconds. And of course, once our first item gets used, that's when the defense grid will proc. So you actually do want to have a fast weapon or fast something that goes off before your force field that hopefully charges it up. Also, this thing is really key. This gives you like 50% crit chance for your shield items. So this was also obsidian, so it was doing double damage with the crit. So it was kind of doing like 4 times damage in a way because it has obsidian and the crit, which is double and double. So once we get to defense grid, we have like 10,000 HP. Defense grid is something like 30% of your HP you get in shield at the start of the fight. So at the start of the fight, you get like 3,000 shield, which makes this do 6,000 damage, which hits for 12,000 damage if it crits. So like we literally one-shot people with this build. We didn't even need the scarf at all. The scarf was just here for fun. Really all you need is the crit chance, something to charge up the force field, maybe an enchant on the force field, defense grid, and a high HP total. That's kind of all you need, and this build is so strong. It's really, really, really strong. And we also had Fiery Rebirth. So, like, well, I don't even think we needed this a single time. Like, our build was just too fast and too good. So, oh yeah, I'm trying to click continue. It doesn't work. Here's another build. It's almost the exact same thing, but slightly different. So, we have a battery to charge up our force field. I think it's like 4-second battery. So, after 4 seconds, we use this force field, which has multicast because of the bunker, which has crit because of this security camera. And we have the defense grid, which is the whole combo. You get the defense grid, so when you use your first item, you get like 30% shield, and then this goes off twice and does burning. So we put them on fire for like 500 or something. We have a little bit of crit chance here as well. So bunker plus crit chance plus an enchant is really, really good. So this is a nice 10-win build that you can go for on Dooley. You don't really need the core for this build at all. I didn't use the core here. You don't even need the core for most builds, but, sometimes it's all right. Like, for this build, I didn't even really use the core's buffing ability. I just kind of had it there to trigger a lot of burn, because it kind of resets itself. So it was just there to be a fast burn item to trigger this. Like, it's not even really like a build around. It's just kind of like a good item. So that's the cool thing about the cores. Here's a perfect victory. Oh, baby, a perfect victory. And this one, I think, was thanks to Shadowcloak Katana Cannonade mostly. The eels were okay. I don't think they were very needed at all. They were just kind of what I was given. I got a diamond eel thing, and it kind of works out. We also had rigged. Dude, rigged is so powerful, especially starting this build really fast. Like, we are an aggro build. That's why we got to perfect, right? Because we have rigged. We had tempering as well, so every time a weapon goes off, it gets more damage. We also had this charging blow thing, so every time a weapon goes off, it charges like another weapon. We had a bunch of crit chance here. We had a little bit of extra I believe that's like money when we win, or HP or something. I forgot. I think it looks like money anyway. So we got some money, got some. I believe I always start gold skill, and I got the right-handed or whatever. So we have the katana with the right-handed here. Going crazy with the shadow cloak, scaling it up, and then cannonade just popping off every time we use another weapon. It gets charged up, and this is going off every 1 second, right? 2-second katana with haste going off every 1 second. So every 1 second this is charging, boop 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 boom. And then this obviously goes off a lot too, based off of how many items our opponent is using. So that's pretty cool. Here's another one. I kind of forgot about this one. This was a bit risky. We did choose the glass cannon skill, so it doubles my weapon's damage and my opponent's weapon's damage. Like, super risky. You should never try it. But when you have a build this fast, I had alacrity skill. Oh, baby. So alacrity skill is like whenever you crit, charge an item 1 second. So I only had one item with a cooldown here, and it was katana. So every time the katana crits, it charges at a second. Now, the cooldown of this is 2 seconds, but with haste, it's only 1 second. So basically, every time it goes off, if it has haste, it charges itself basically a full second. So it goes off kind of like 5 times immediately at the start of the fight. So bam, 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 bam. They just get hit 5 times with this huge katana. They're on fire. We're hasting ourselves with this Jabalian drum. We're hitting that drum every time a weapon goes off. Our weapons get stronger and get haste. And we have this cool skill here. Whenever a weapon gains haste, if it already had haste, it gains like 10 damage or something. So the Jabalian drum was like whenever you use a weapon, haste it, and get 15 damage on all your weapons. So basically every time we were using this katana, we were getting like 25 damage from this skill here and the drum, and a little bit of katana damage on top of that. So we were scaling this thing a lot, like over 25 to 30 damage every time it goes off. With crit, that's like scaling 60 damage every time it goes off. It goes off like 5 times immediately. Has so much crit because of the inexorable. Lots of damage because of all these damage skills. Tons of damage skills. Anyway, this was a really, really good build. And then we ended up doubling the weapon's damage as well. So really risky, but because we had a very quick build, it was worth it to grab that skill. Normally, I would suggest never to take it, but yeah. Here's another classic Vanessa build you can go for. This is the barrel. So the barrel says deals 50% of your enemy's HP. So it doesn't matter how much HP they have. They could have 20,000 HP. Doesn't matter. This thing scales up to half their HP, and then you give it an enchant like deadly or something, or give it a lot of crit chance with some of your skills, and then that 50% HP turns into 100% HP. But the only problem is it's a little bit slow. But the way to counteract the slow barrel is by burning. It says whenever you burn, you charge the barrel 2 seconds. So that's why I have this incendiary rounds here. Every time you use an adjacent item, you burn for 7 or whatever it is. It was only 7 because I had this like burn skill. But it's supposed to be like every time you use an adjacent item, you burn like 1. Which is fine. It doesn't matter. So the katana's going off a lot. The pistol's going off a lot. It's scaling the cannonade as well for a little bit of poison damage. So we kind of diversified our threats a little bit here. We were going katana cannonade, which obviously is a very strong build. Katana cannonade, right? We got it perfect with that. But also barrel, right? Like barrel's incredibly strong as well. Even if it doesn't crit, they're taking 50% damage. But I think it had deadly. It looks like it's enchanted with deadly, so it's like 100% crit barrel. Or at least 50% crit. I don't know how much crit we have here. But, oh yeah, with this 15% or 20% little friend here, should have been like 70% crit barrel or something. And then every time we burn, we're giving our items more crit with this burn skill. So actually, we had some good synergies here as well. And then we had the large items for crit chance. So this thing had a bunch of crit. So yeah, this was a pretty good build here. But barrel is a very solid build. Just build a bunch of burn and a barrel. Give the barrel crit and make it diamond. And you can win a lot of fights. Here's another Dooley build. It's another force field build. This one I went bunker, battery, and then I had some, I don't know, this is here for cooldown reduction mostly. But also like it helps build up the shield a little bit, right? That's like 200 shield times 3. That's like 600 shield. And 600 shield's like, it's a decent amount. We can use that to kill people. But it's mostly here for giving our adjacent stuff cooldown reduction so that this can go off really fast. So the battery charges it, but then after it goes off once, it might even go off again because it's a pretty low cooldown. So not much to say here. We got some good skills, giving it crit chance, giving it poison. These are all decent things. Bunker's pretty good. Battery's pretty good. Like it's just a good force field build. You can also do weapon spam Dooley. So just like you do weapon spam Vanessa, you can do weapon spam Dooley. You can just grab gold skill start, grab the right-handed, grab an Uzi, and now all of a sudden your Uzi does 50 damage on turn 1 or on day 1 every 2 seconds. Like, that's ridiculous. Even if it only has 6 bullets, that's 6 times 50. That's 300 damage in your Uzi if you have 40 damage on your 10 damage Uzi. So that's 50 damage Uzi times 6 bullets. Like, dude, your Uzi is insanely powerful. You can kill people with an Uzi alone with this one perk. So, and then you grab the weapon core, and then you just power up all your weapons. Maybe you lean a little bit into tech synergies like I did. I have a little tech item here, and I have this large item with obsidian that charges damage, or it increases its damage every time you use a small item or something. Anyway, very strong. Metronome's obviously a good item as well. Surprise, surprise. Especially with the Diamond Fang skill that we got here. So all of our small items had their cooldowns reduced by 40% or something. 30%. So we had a couple diamond items in here to try to utilize our skills. We also had the Juggler skill, which is really good. You get that day 10 plus from one of the middle guys. Juggler is obviously like when you use a small item, you charge a large item. So that works really well with this. This build was actually crazy. We also had the Octopus skill, which makes our only medium item reduce its cooldown by 30% as well if we only have one medium item, which we do. And it's diamond, and it looks like it's turbo. So we had like turbo weapon core that was getting charged up by the stuff on the left, and that gives damage to stuff on the right. So this was actually quite a strong build as well. This was weapon spam Dooley kind of thing. Went punch mode. Here's another perfect win. You can do ammo spam Vanessa. So there's this really good skill right here. Your weapons have increased damage equal to the ammo among items you have in play. And same with Steel Storm Vanessa. Steel Storm is incredible. Your weapons have increased damage for each weapon you have in play. So I just got a bunch of increased damage because I had a bunch of ammo and a bunch of weapons. And then on top of that, I had a bunch of crit. I was rigged. I had tempering, so every time my weapons go off, they get stronger. And we had obsidian switchblades, so we had two Uzis for some reason on this build, but it just kind of worked out, you know, lots of weapon spam. Shark Claws are so good this patch. Shark Claws are S tier right now. They give like 40 damage to all your weapons every 5 seconds. That's insane. 40 damage to all your weapons. That's just a lot. That's a lot. Like percentage-wise, 40 is like increasing all your weapons damage by like 30% or something every time. So like that's really good. Play a little bit of that. We did some bug builds, but I think the bug builds got significantly worse. But you can still do them. It's mostly a drill build, right? This was a heavy drill with whenever you use a friend, you burn. So basically the drill was just having a really good time, and it was just going off like crazy. And as well as this skill here, whenever you use your leftmost item, you burn. So that means whenever the drill was going off, it was burning and slowing. Which just triggers itself 2 triggers to charge itself. Oh yeah, plus the shatter skill, so every time we were freezing, we increase our damage on our weapon by like 10. And this was freezing like 3 things every whatever seconds times 2, so it was really increasing the damage by a lot. So this is a solid build still. Multicast all your friends with the robotic factory, get all the bugs, and get a drill. It's not that complicated. It's a little slow to trigger. Everything here probably has a 6-second cooldown. So it's a little slow to get triggered, but once it goes off, it does do a lot of work here. We get a lot of crit chance. We can, yeah, it's pretty good build. And we've done a lot of these builds in the past. This one's really crazy. This one is a Knife Tricks Dualtron with shiny robotic factory, so it gives everything ×3 instead of ×2 multicast. So just makes everything pop off even further. But this was, I believe, before the bug nerf. We did a lot of bug stuff before the bug nerf. Look at all these bug builds that I've done. I did so many bug builds. Oh, I threw in a force field build in there. But yeah, more bug builds, more bug builds, more bug builds, more bug builds, more bug builds. I did a lot of bug builds to climb out of silver when the bug builds were good. Wow, this was a spicy one. We had the Dragon Heart. But yeah, Bulldozer, Bugs, Drill, Metronome. Wow, surprise. But yeah, this is how I climbed out of bronze, was just spamming the best thing that was there at the time. At the time, it was the bugs, right? So you do whatever is best at the moment. At the time, it was definitely bugs, and maybe it was Mac as well. We did a little bit of a Mac femur build, which is obviously pretty good. I did whatever this is, poison regen something build. But I'm not very good at Mac or Pygmalion. I'm not very good with this guy. See, this was last season when I was Legend last season. So basically, I started with this patch. So we can count how many games we did. It's going to be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Nope. It was 39 games to get the legend. 39 wins to get the legend. So I had to play like 40 hours of this game and win every single game. It doesn't count the losses. So if you win for 40 hours straight, you can get the legend. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that quick video rundown of me getting to legend. Pats on back. If you got the legend too, let me know in the comments below how many games it took you. It took me about 41 victories. If it takes you, it probably could take you a little bit less if you didn't lose as much as me. But I lost a couple games, which drops your rank a little bit. But for the most part, I think that would be pretty standard because I don't think I dropped too many points there. I was pretty consistent at getting at least 4 wins. If you get at least 4 wins, you don't drop. If you get 7 wins, you get 1 point. If you get 10 wins, you get 2 points. And every one of those points puts you up. So, yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed that little video, and we'll catch you later. Mega Luke out. Peace.